In progress.
So good day or good morning to all of you. So this is going to be part two of your lecture in IMCI. The first part we have discussed about the sick young child from 2 months to 5 years. So part two is going to be the sick young infant from birth to 2 months. All right. Now, disclaimer, I told you the last time that the first week is not included in the concept of IMCI, if you remember, diba? Because the sickness from that particular period, as I've said, is usually associated with labor and delivery. And more or less, the conditions that they have would require special management. But, Sir B, bakit may birth to 2 months dito? Kasi hindi mo naman pwedeng i-turn down yun pag nagpunta sa center. So we must have the ability, of course, to assess and to know what to do in the event that a neonate comes in the center and we apply IMCI concept to them. Okay? Now, like your first part, I would want you to remember your general danger signs. Of course, your general danger signs, as you well know, is CANS. Diba? CANS, convulsions, abnormal sleepiness, inability to drink or suck, and of course, severe vomiting. If in the event that you see one or more of those cans, matic na naman, kulay pink. All right? For the sick young infant, ages from birth to 2 months, these are the common main symptoms that usually will prompt them to come to our facility. Okay? Ano-ano po siya? Meron tayong bacterial infection, meron tayong jaundice, meron tayong diarrhea, at of course, meron tayong feeding problems or low weight for age. So I'm going to be discussing this now to you. Okay? So let me begin with bacterial infection. All right? Pag sinabi nating bacterial infection, the mom comes in. Okay, the mom comes in. Sabi niya, yung pusod po ng aking anak ay parang na-infection. What are you going to do? Okay? Kasi usually that's a sign of bacterial infection. How severe is it? How serious it is? So, you will need to assess the child. Okay? So you ask the mom first, Mommy, is the baby having difficulty in feeding? Mommy, have you noticed any convulsions that happen during the course of the infection or during the course of the fever? Tanungin nyo. Bakit? Tignan nyo, yung difficulty in feeding at convulsion, matik yan. Pag sinabi niya, oo, paki-refer na kasi pink agad yan. Diba? Kasi those are actually two general danger signs. What else? As nurses people, we would need to assess. Okay, so what are we going to look for? One, you count the RR. Oh, since this is 2 months and below, ang cutoff natin dito ay 60. Pag above 60, the baby is already fast breathing. You also note for severe chest indrawing in a child that is not crying or relaxed. Already discussed that before. You take the temperature of the baby, of course, and assess yung complaint ng nanay. Tignan ang pusod. Look at the umbilicus. Okay? Is it red? Is it draining pus? Nagnanana ba siya? Does the redness extend to the skin? Okay? Sir, why are you telling us that? Because here in bacterial infection among infants, the severity of the infection is usually determined by the extent of redness. Okay? Kung saan na umabot yung pamumula. Kasi normally, pag na-infect yan, sa pusod lang. Pero pag umabot na siya sa skin of the abdominal wall, that signals for a serious infection. Alright? Now, your baby might also have skin pustules. In your HA, you were taught that pustules are simple red spots or blisters that have pus. Di ba? Kaya ka siya pustule. Okay? A severe infection will have up to 5 pustule. A serious infection will have more than 5. Okay? What else will you need to assess? Assess the movement of the child. Okay? Does the child move on his or her own? Do you need to stimulate the child for it to move? Okay? Or wala lang, deadma lang. Hindi siya gumagalaw kahit stimulate or not. All right? So take note of your findings for that. Now, if you are visual learners, I would like you to see this. This is an umbilicus with an infection. I told you kanina, is it red? This one's red. Is it draining with pus? This is draining with pus. Does the redness extend to the skin of the abdominal wall? So that's serious infection already. This one here. All right? Also, these are pustules. Abay mga anak, pag ganyan nakadami, ano na yan? 'Di ba? Medyo seryoso na yan. Okay? You will also see, especially in pustules, sometimes it heals, lalo na pag nag-burst yung pustule. So you might see scabbing or scarring also like this. Okay? So you're done with your assessment. Now is the time for us to classify or put color into your assessment. Okay, pink, yellow, at green. Ito ang pink. Kung ang iyong nakita at ang iyong na-assess ay any of the following. Okay? Any of the following. Kahit ano dyan. Not feeding well, which is a danger sign. A convulsion, which is also a danger sign. A baby who is fast breathing more than 60. Okay? Breaths per minute or respirations per minute. What else? You noticed severe chest indrawing in a relaxed child or a child that is not crying. The baby presents itself with fever. What else? Or minsan may low body temperature. Or ang bata ay hindi gumagalaw or gagalaw lamang siya if they are stimulated. Ano ang meron ang bata? They have very severe disease, meaning they have very severe infections. Okay, very severe disease. Will we refer this? Yes, definitely. But of course, we are going to need to give pre-referral treatment. Ano po ang pre-referral treatment natin? Ang pre-referral treatment natin for a baby with very severe disease is, one, we need to give them first dose of antibiotics. I have discussed this already. The first dose of antibiotics would be amoxicillin. If it is available, you can also give gentamicin. Okay? Kasi yun lang naman yung mga antibiotics sa center. Di ba? Remember, first line is amoxicillin, second line is cotrimoxazole. If available, pwede din gentamicin. First dose of antibiotics. What else? People, for infants like this, they are always prone to hypoglycemia. So we need to prevent low blood sugar. What is going to be our instruction to the mom? Continue breastfeeding if the baby tolerates it. Ngayon, yung mommy may problema, hindi naman makapagpadede pero nakakapag labas siya ng gatas, nakakapag-pump siya ng milk or nakakapag-express siya ng milk. Pwede mo yung ibigay sa bote kung kaya ng baby. You give up to 25 ml of expressed breast milk. Pwede po yun. Okay? If the child naman is unable to swallow, like what I told you before, you prepare sugar water. Ilan yun? 200 ml with 4 teaspoons of sugar, and you give up to 50 ml. Up to so that's between 20 to 50 ml via NGT. Okay? Yun yung to prevent low blood sugar. Then, of course, you refer urgently. Now, babies like this, especially 2 months below, might have trouble with thermoregulation. Baka yan ay ginawin. So, you need to advise the mother on how she is going to keep her baby warm. What are you going to tell her? Mommy, skin-to-skin contact. Okay? Another is, please put on proper clothing for the baby. Okay? This is going to include blankets, hats, and socks. Kasi mamaya pumunta yan sa ospital, di ba? Naka-hat nga, naka-sock. Dahil man diaper, nakahubad-hubad naman yung baby. So again, proper clothing for the baby, which includes the hat, the socks, and the blanket. That's what you're going to do for a baby less than 2 months old with very severe disease. The second, yellow. Paano naman kung ang assessment findings mo lamang ay ang red ng umbilicus niya or nagnanana ang umbilicus niya or meron siyang skin pustules. So, ito ay local bacterial infection. Do we need to refer? No, we treat them at the facility, at the center, or at the OPD. Now, we can give oral antibiotics. This was discussed before. First line, amoxicillin. twice a day for 5 days. Or, second line, cotrimoxazole, twice a day, again, for 5 days. Okay? Pero, please take note that we do not give cotrimoxazole for an infant that is less than 1 month old. Especially if that particular infant has jaundice, naninilaw yung bata. Huwag niyong bibigyan ng cotrimoxazole. So, amoxicillin is going to do. Tandaan nyo yung health teaching na sinabi ko sa inyo noon na lumalabas sa board. Pag po nawala na ba ang nana, for example, in this particular instance, 2 days pa lang, ititigil na po ba namin ng antibiotic? Ang sagot, mami, hindi po. Kailangan ituloy twice a day for 5 days. Okay? Yon ang lagi nyong sasabihin. Yon ang magsasabi sa inyo that the mom requires further teaching if they ask you that question. Alright? Next, you teach the mother how to treat local infections at home. How are you going to treat or teach the mother how to treat local infections at home? Etong red na umbilicus, nagda-drain ng pus na umbilicus, etong skin pustules, ang health teaching natin, you wash with soap and water. Okay? You wash with soap and water twice a day. For the umbilicus, wala kang ilalagay and you allow it to air dry. Tandaan nyo yun ha. For the umbilicus, wala kang ilalagay and you allow it to air dry. Yung pustules, naalala nyo yung para sa mouth sores na 25% gentian violet. Pagka hugas ninyo doon sa pustules, tanggalin ang pus, tanggalin ang crust, pahidan ninyo ng gentian violet. Ganun po yun. So, you dry the area, you paint with gentian violet, and you ask the mom to wash their hands after. Sir, how would we know that our health teaching is effective? Ang sagot, you demo. You ask them to do return demonstration at the health center. Tandaan niyo yun ha. Ito po mami, ganito ang gagawin nyo. Hugasan nyo to ng tubig at sabon, patuyuin. Pahidan ng gentian violet, tapos maghugas kayo ng kamay. Sige mami, game. Kayo naman, ulitin nyo po. Ganon. That is the best way for us to know if they have understood what we just taught them. Alright? Also advise the mom to give home care for the young infant, including their diet. Okay? And of course, counsel the mother on care and development. Tignan nyo, dahil may oral antibiotic, gaya nung unang lesson natin, kailangan bumalik yan in 2 days. Okay? Kasi may oral antibiotic. Yun ang follow-up. 2 days. Unless, of course, kailangan bumalik yan immediately for the reasons that we have discussed before. Nagka-fever, hindi nag-feed, ayan, nag-progress ang sakit. Kailangan nilang bumalik immediately. Okay? Next, green yan pag wala namang severe signs or wala namang signs of severe disease or local bacterial infection. So anong gagawin nyo? Uwi. Mami, uwi ka na. But you would need to do a little bit of health teaching like how to give home care, and you need to advise them on how to properly assess and care for the child during the development. Okay? So that is for your bacterial infection. Now, another common na case na ma-encounter ninyo na pupunta sa center ay yung mga may jaundice. Ano po yung mga may jaundice? Ito yung mga manganganak after 9 months. Hindi, joke lang. Ito po yung mga batang naninilaw. Okay? Jaundice. Jaundice. Okay. So, if there is a baby that presents itself in the center with the mom with jaundice, what do you need to look for? It's simple. You ask the mom, when was the onset of jaundice? When did it specifically appear? Okay? You also need to look for, syempre alam nyo naman, nung HA ninyo, you look at the sclera of the baby. You look at the skin. If the skin is dark, okay, or the client is black, you look at the palms and soles of the feet. Okay? Sir, bakit po? Kasi we have what we call true jaundice and pseudo jaundice. True jaundice, lahat naninilaw, even the sclera. Alright? Pag pseudo jaundice, because of carotemia, lahat madilaw, puwera ang sclera. So you take note of that. You always look at the eyes. Alright? So, You now have your assessment findings. You now know the onset of when the jaundice began. You now know what the baby looks like. It's now time for you to classify. Okay, you ask the mom about the onset. Sabi nung mommy, less than 24 hours po ang anak ko. Okay? Less than 24 hours po ang anak ko at naninilaw po ang kanyang, at nakita nyo na ang kanyang palms at soles ay naninilaw. At any age, kahit up to 2 months pa yan, naninilaw. Ang tawag natin dyan ay severe jaundice. Okay? Severe jaundice is pathological jaundice. Yan ha. If jaundice or any jaundice, if the baby's age is less than 24 hours, or if more than 24 hours but they have yellow palms, soles, or scleras, that is pathological jaundice, that is severe jaundice, and it is pink. If you remember, sabi ko sa inyo, these babies would have different needs kasi technically, if that's less than 24 hours, they are neonates. So kung mapapansin nyo, wala ka masyadong gagawin. You refer urgently. Na lang ang gagawin mo, you treat to prevent low blood sugar by asking them to breastfeed or by giving them sugar water if needed. And of course, again, skin-to-skin contact at proper clothing to keep the baby warm. Alright? Ngayon, sabi nung mommy mo, after 24 hours na po, tapos hindi naman po naninilaw ang palad at talampakan. That is what we call physiologic jaundice. Okay? It's yellow. So yung pink nyo pathological, yung yellow ay physiological. So dito, we classify it as jaundice. Anong gagawin? We treat this at the facility or the center. So we advise the mom how to take care of the young infant. Okay? Ganito ha. If the baby's palms and soles, okay, progress to being yellow, you ask them to return so you could assess and refer if necessary. So parang magiging pink siya pag nanilaw ang talampakan, ang sclera, ang palad. Okay? If the baby, okay, nag-appear ang jaundice niya after 24 hours but in less than 14 days, okay, nag-appear yan, please refer for assessment. Balik ka ulit doon. Okay? What else? You follow up in 1 day. Balik ka po dito bukas. You follow up in 1 day, tapos you counsel the mother on the care for the development of the child. Anong napansin nyo? Wala ka na namang gagawin? Puro assess at referral ka lang, kahit sa yellow pa. Okay? Ito lang ang naiba sa lahat. Ito 1 day. What else? No jaundice. Wala ka naman nakitang naninilaw. Wala ka namang nakitang problema. Ang sclera ay puti. Okay? Normal ang baby. No jaundice yon. So, mami, uwi. But, of course, we would need to perform a bit of healthy check, counseling, and giving advice to the mother. So that's your jaundice. Tandaan ha, pag pink pathological, pag ang baby less than 24 hours or kahit more than 24 hours at naninilaw ang palad at paa, paki-refer. Pag more than 24 hours na, hindi naman naninilaw, that is physiological. We treat it at the center. Pag walang paninilaw, uwi. Okay? Uwi agad. Next, we have what we call diarrhea. Meron din ang diarrhea dito. Hindi lang siya sa 2 months to 5 years. Pero mas sensitive kasi ang mga babies 2 months and below. So iba ang assessment at iba ang classification na, pareho ang assessment natin pero iba ang classification niya for these younger ones. So when the mom goes into you because the baby is complaining or is experiencing diarrhea, ano nga ulit yung mga itatanong natin? Gano'n nakatagal ang diarrhea? Kasi if more than 14 days, that's persistent. If less than 14 days, that is acute. Okay? If it has blood, it is dysentery. It's the same. Diba? What you need to look for is going to be a bit different. Okay? Dito, titignan lang natin is movement. Kasi dahil pag dehydrated ang bata, hindi na yan nagagagalaw kasi nanghihina na yan. Or pag umiiyak tas hindi mapatahan, the baby is now restless and irritable. You also ask the mom if the eyes are more sunken than usual kasi nga mamaya, ganun pala ang trait ng family nila, di ba? Sabi ko sa inyo. Tapos, foreskin turgor, saan ipipinch? Midway between the umbilicus and the abdomen. Pag poor ang skin turgor, dehydrated na po yan. Pag sunken ng eye, sunken ng fontanelles, dehydrated na po yan. Alright? So, take note of your assessment findings and you now classify. Oh, ano ang gagawin po natin dito? Oh, pag ang bata, okay, pink, dehydration, ito pala. Yan. You take note of two of any of the following. Dapat dalawa ha. Pag isa lang, hindi yan severe dehydration. Dapat dalawa. So, movement only when stimulated or no movement at all. Tapos, sunken eyes, tapos foreskin turgor. So, for example, pumunta yung bata hindi na gumagalaw. Tapos, sunken ang eyes niya. O, dalawa na yon. 2 out of 3 na yon. So, that is severe dehydration already. Or if they present with any danger sign. Tandaan niya yan ha. Pink na agad yan. That means the baby has severe dehydration. What are we going to do before referring? Okay. This dehydration might occur simultaneously with very severe disease, yung bacterial infection or dysentery. For those particular instances na ang baby ay may kaakibat pang very severe disease, we need to replace fluids immediately. Plan C. Naalala nyo pa yung plan C natin? IV yun. Okay? Rapid fluid replacement po yun. Or, if the infant has very severe disease, severe jaundice, or dysentery, you don't need to do plan C. You just refer urgently to the hospital, giving the baby supplemental Orisol or forcing the baby to drink Orisol. Okay? Advise the mom to continue breastfeeding and please remember to keep the baby warm. Ganun po yun. Pero dito, pag severely dehydrated, plan C muna agad yan at i-refer mo na. Alright? Yellow. Yellow ito pag restless or irritable, sunken eyes, at foreskin turgor. So, look at the difference. Yung movement, di ba? Kung may movement when stimulated, or no movement at all. Dito, yung restlessness at irritability. Okay? Pag ang bata, restless at irritable, some dehydration yon. Okay? So, two of the following, restless or irritable, sunken eyes, at foreskin turgor. That is some dehydration. Anong plano mo dito? Plan B po tayo, forced fluids. So, remember, body weight times 75. That's the volume that you will need to force the baby down to intake. Okay? Now, tignan nyo ang ating slide. Pag mapapansin po ninyo, merong if. Okay? If the infant has very severe disease, meaning may bacterial infection, may severe jaundice din siya, okay? Yung pathological jaundice, or there is blood in the stool, it becomes pink. Ganyan ha? Oh, it becomes pink. Kung wala naman ito, plan B ka lang. Pero kung meron nito, nagiging pink na yan. We would need to refer urgently. Okay? Ano pa ang dito sa yellow? In the facility, we advise the mommy to continue breastfeeding together with the plan B, and you assess and counsel the mother on the care and the development or care for the development of her baby. Ganun po yan. Alright? So that is for your yellow in that diarrhea. Sabi, ano naman yung green? Yung green, wala kang na-assess. So ano ang gagawin mo pag wala kang na-assess at wala namang sign? Alam nyo na yan, uwi. Uwi, pero advise them to do plan A. What is plan A? We give supplemental Orisol or we give additional Orisol as backup for every episode of bowel movement or diarrhea. Yan po yan. Uwi. Home treatment po yan. Okay? Now, yung persistent diarrhea for a baby 2 months or less, people, is going to be pink. Okay? Diarrhea, lasting for more than 14 days. Here is going to be severe persistent diarrhea. Ano ang gagawin nyo? Ang gagawin nyo po dyan, if infant has dehydration, treat dehydration. So, balikan nyo yung lesson nyo. Kung severe ang dehydration, plan C. Diba? Kakaintindihan po tayo. Pero more or less, pag diarrhea lasting for 14 days, pwede na yung plan B. Okay? Tapos, you refer immediately to the hospital. Tandaan niyo yan ha. Next, doon sa dati yung part 1 na lesson, pag may dysentery, yellow yon. Pero for babies less than 2 months, pag may nakita kang blood sa stool, you will need to refer immediately. Okay? So, yan po ang pinagkaiba nila. Hindi gagamutin ng antibiotics. Wala. I-refer nyo sa ospital. Advise them to continue breastfeeding and give sips of ORS on the way to the hospital. That's your blood in the stool. Okay. And of course, last but not the least of your conditions for a child, for an infant, 2 months or less, is low weight for age. Okay? If the mom comes in and you saw that the baby is a bit small for age, then you will need to help them by applying IMCI. So, i-assess mo. Dito kasi sa low weight for age, ang nagiging problema po natin mga anak ay yung feeding, yung pag-breastfeed. Pag-feed ng mommy dun sa anak niya at yung way nung pag-feed ng baby pag naglalatch or nag-a-attach siya sa breast. So, you ask the mom, breastfeeding. How many times do you feed your baby for 24 hours? Okay? Is the baby receiving any food? Okay? Aside from breast milk? If yes, how often? Okay? At what do you use to feed? Amba, kape, tubig lang ba? Sugar, water lang ba? Also, the nurse will need to look for the weight for age, of course. You will need to look for ulcers or white patches, yung oral thrush, sinasabi nila. You will also need to assess for breastfeeding, whether the baby is well attached or not. You will also need to assess the baby for its sucking. Okay? Is the baby effectively sucking or not? And ito ang they usually fail to assess if the baby is having a blocked nose or the baby is having cold. Okay. Speaking of assessment of breastfeeding, people, when you decide to assess breastfeeding, you need to take note of the circumstances prior to you assessing how the child is going to or how the child is doing breastfeeding. Kasi in this particular instances, you cannot afford to delay. So, kailan po natin malalaman whether or not we will continue to assess the breastfeeding of the child? Number 1, you ask the mom if the child is exclusively breastfed and she answers yes, then of course, do not assess breastfeeding. Kasi ano yan, exclusively breastfed ang bata, hindi mo na kailangang tignan. Or kabaliktaran, the opposite. If you ask the mom if the child has been breastfed and the mom said, no, not at all. Huwag mo nang i-assess ang breastfeeding kasi hindi nga siya nagpapadede. Okay? Or if the child, the infant, has a very serious problem, you can see it, the baby is having difficulty breathing. All the danger signs are there. Huwag ka nang mag-assess ng breastfeeding, dalhin mo na agad sa ospital. Okay? Ngayon, in the event that you have decided and it is okay to assess breastfeeding, what are you going to do? Mami, kumain na po ba ang anak nyo? Or nagdede na po ba in the previous hour? Tandaan nyo na. Pag sinagot ng mami, no, hindi pa po siya dumidede. Mami, can you offer breast milk or can you offer your breast to your child? And nurse, tignan nyo yan. Mga 4 minutes yung tignan. You take note if the infant is properly attached. If the infant attaches itself to the breast of the mom and start sucking, please leave it be for a while. Okay? Kasi kailangan nyo ng bata. So, habang pinapadede nung nanay yung bata, tignan nyo, what makes for good attachment when breastfeeding? Una, yung chin ni baby dapat nagtatouch sa breast ng mommy. Kahit gaano pa kalit yung breast ng nanay, dapat yung chin, yung baba ng anak nakadikit sa dede niya. Pangalawa, the mouth of the child should be wide open. Okay? The lower lip of the child should turn outward and there should be more areola above than below the breast. Ito yun. Tingnan nyo. The left is the good, the right is the bad. Sabi ko, the mouth of the baby must be fully open. The lower lip should turn outward like this. Okay? The chin should be touching the breast and there should be more areola up here than down here. Okay? The mom should hold the baby like this. Everything is wrong if you see that the baby's mouth is not fully open, the chin is not touching the breast, and almost all of the areola is exposed, meaning the baby is not sucking well. Meaning, konti lang ang nadidede niya. Kasi di ba, sucking will actually induce milk production. The expulsion of milk also. Kung yung nipple lang yung sinasak ng baby, hindi ma-stimulate na mag-produce pa ng more milk yung bata. Okay? So, ayan po ang good sa bad pag nagpapa-breastfeed ka. What else? I told you to look for oral thrushes because baka hindi dumidede yan kasi nasasaktan yung baby. Okay? So, oral thrushes. Now, how are we going to classify low weight for age? Bagets, walang pink, yellow lang. If you see one of these, not well attached or not sucking effectively, or sabi nung mommy, less than 8 in 24 hours ang pag-feed niya, sabi nung mommy, hindi yan umiinom ng gatas, kape, o kaya Coca-Cola. Kung may, di ba? Sugar water. Kawawa naman yung anak niyo. Coca-Cola ang pinainom. Di ba? The baby has low weight for age and has oral thrushes. Ang problema ng bata ay yellow, feeding problem or low weight for age po ito. The feeding problem or yellow is for feeding problem. Anong gagawin natin dito? Since this is yellow, dito po papasok ngayon lahat ng natutunan po ninyo ng HE ninyo at ng OB. Kung paano mag-suso at kung ano ang mga dapat na health teaching sa mommy. Una, if the baby is not able to attach or not sucking effectively, then you need to teach the mom how to correctly position the baby so that the baby would be able to attach properly. Pangalawa, if the baby's feeding is less than 8 times a day, you need to advise the mom to increase frequency. You tell them that feed the child as often as the child wants, night and day. Paki-increase po ang kanyang duration or frequency. Okay? Not duration. Paki-increase ang kanyang frequency rather. Okay? What else? If the mom tells you that they give other food and drinks, please advise them to reduce and counsel them to the importance of breast milk. All right? If the baby has not been breastfed at all, you need to advise them on the proper substitutes. Dapat formula milk, hindi kape, hindi Coke, hindi sugar water. All right? If the baby has thrush, then you will need to instruct the mother on how to properly take care of the baby with oral thrush. You will need to follow up or tell them to follow up in 2 days if the baby has problems feeding or if the baby has oral thrush. So papabalikin niya to after 2 days. Okay? Dahil ito ay low birth weight, like before, babalik din yan after 14 days. And of course, assess the mother on care for the development of the child. Tandaan nyo ha, pag feeding problem or may oral thrush, balik after 2 days, baka nag-subside or ibsan na yung kanyang feeding problem or oral thrush. Pag mababa ang weight, Balik after 14 days kasi hindi naman kaya ng 2 days na magbabago agad yung weight niyan. Okay? Now, if during your assessment, normal ang bata, adequate ang feeding, pauwiin nyo yung nanay, pero i-congratulate nyo. Tandaan nyo ha, praise the mother for feeding the infant well. The baby is normal because they are doing it properly. Alright? So that is for your poor feeding. Now, like before in your part 1, we need to give follow-up care and it is also applicable here. Tatandaan nyo, pag nag-antibiotic ang bata, pag may dysentery, kailangan yan bumalik after 2 days. Okay? Pag may feeding problem ang bata or may oral thrush, again, babalik yan in 2 days. Pag low weight ang bata, babalik yan 14 days. Alright? Pag tinanong ka ng nanay, pwede po ba kaming bumalik ng mas maaga? Oo, diniscuss ko na ito. Yes po, bumalik kayo ng mas maaga sa 2 days o 14 days if the baby shows signs of any of the following. Nagkaroon ng feeding problem, di ba? Breastfeeding or drinking poorly. Nagkasakit palalo, nilagnat, nagtae, di ba? Bumilis ang paghinga more than 60 breaths per minute. Nahirapan huminga at nagkaroon ng dysentery. You tell the mom to come back even before it's 2 days, even before it's 14 days. Alright. Common questions. Sir, doon sa breastfeeding kanina, if the mom hindi talaga siya makapagpasuso, would it be okay to use the breast milk of others? The answer is yes. There are already facilities who collect excess breast milk or surplus breast milk doon sa mga nag-overlactate na moms. Kino-collect nila yon, nilalagay sa isang container, tapos pinapasteurize nila, freeze. Tapos, the moms who are unable to breastfeed could buy it. Nagiging negosyo pa nga siya minsan ng mga public hospitals. So, yun naman yung mga common questions with regard to feeding of the baby. Right? So that ends your part 2. Do you have any questions or clarifications?